Alright, today is a show about nothing. And I gotta ask, what does a fish say when it runs into a wall? Damn! Let's get this shit rolling. So we're just rolling in. If you are friends of mine, or follow me on Facebook, Brian Crawford, you will know that I literally just ran in from work. Had to walk down the mean streets of Millvale on my way in. Today is a show about nothing. I worked today until about 8:45, didn't get into the studio until after 9:30. And as I said on Wednesday, I wasn't feeling very well, so all day yesterday I slept, and a lot of times I like to prepare before I come in, but today, no preparation. We are just going off the cuff. We're just gonna roll with it and improvise here on the, what is today's date? I don't even know what today's date is. Today's the 9th. Okay. So, I thought today would be a day that we could air some grievances. Because it's Christmas time, it's a show about nothing. So why not air some grievances? I have Joe Pucciarelli here next to me. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Yourself?
I'm here.
Well, that's better than not being here.
What's something that you're pissed off about? Air a grievance today.
You know,
my computer's still on, right?
I'm gonna have to think about this for a second.
This is live radio. We don't have time to think.
Oh, we got lots of time to think.
Well, we got no time to think.
You know what? I'm going to go with technology.
Technology, there we go.
Specifically, getting things working whenever you're in a hurry and you actually need them to work for you.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. If we were here, like, usually I get here at the latest. Usually a late day for me to roll into the studio before a live show is 9 a.m., an hour before showtime. Today I ran in here after 9:30. With no preparation, and I had to try to get everything up and going and help Tara get everything up and going, which she is behind the board. Let's introduce her properly this time, since last time we were a little bit busy. As you know, I have been producing this show by myself for months now. And it makes a huge difference when you have a producer. I can do so many more fun and cool things, like even on the cuff, like today, where I can play different music and things like that, and she has allowed me to do so. Tara, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you're free.
Yes, my hands are free. I can do all sorts of fun things now. I can I don't know, do whatever. I'm aggravated today. Today was an aggravating day. Well, I want to get to know you first before we roll into things, because we said hi a couple weeks ago, but we don't really know who you are, the listeners here on the River's Edge Radio Network. Again, I'm Brian Crawford. We're broadcasting from Millvale Studios, and you can hit us up at 412-407-2PGH, 412-407-2744. We're powered by NJL WebTech. Honest, practical, and affordable. Go to njlwebtech.com for all of your web servicing needs. Tara, who are you?
That's a tough question. Do you have specific questions?
No, we're literally just going off the cuff here. I have absolutely nothing prepared for today's show.
I can answer.
I got Joe in. That was prep. I have Mike calling in. That was kind of prep, even though I texted him on the way over here. You're calling in, right? Because I forgot to message you the other night, so we're just rolling with it.
Okay, well, I'm a 26-year-old white woman from New Jersey, born in Trenton, and I moved to Pittsburgh in 2008, and I've kept on living here ever since.
Is all of Trenton scary?
I was just born there, and then I don't think I ever went back.
Okay, because we went once with the Boy Scouts, and we actually went to Washington's Landing, or Washington's Crossing, rather, which is across the river near Philadelphia.
The Delaware River.
Yeah, we went there towards Valley Forge-ish area because we wanted to see the reenacting, and we thought we would go over to Trenton to see the Hessian reenactors, which were across the river. And while we're there, Hessians, for those of you who don't know, Hessians are German mercenaries that were hired by the British to fight in the Revolutionary War. So we get to see these Hessian reenactors, And while we're there, we thought, why don't we walk down New Jersey through Trenton and get a pizza? And we go through there, and it was like a really rough part of town. And we went into this pizza place, and beggars were literally coming up to the table inside the pizza establishment, trying to hit us up for change. It was frightening.
Typical New Jersey.
I mean, I would feel safer going down a deep, dark alley in the bad part of Manchester than the main street of Trenton, New Jersey. Just from my experience. Now, in broad daylight, yeah. Now, I don't know if that's the whole city or if that's just the area we were in. I was hoping maybe you had some insight.
I don't have any insight into that. Where I grew up was you ever watch The Sopranos?
Yeah, yes, a little bit, yes.
That's that town. That's my town.
That's your town.
Yeah, like
All
literally,
right.
they filmed it there, and so that was more of the imminent danger was not so much from beggars, but from like mafia type. You know.
I see.
And people playing
That's
mafia
what I dealt
type.
with.
Well, you know that Pittsburgh actually has some connections to the mafia, strong
I'm
connections to the
sure.
mafia.
I'm sure they're everywhere.
Yeah, well, my grandfather was friends with a mobster named Almanzo.
Cool.
And Almanzo was like a big shot in the area, and they would do different plumbing work for Almanzo. And when my grandfather...
Involving things that fell off of trucks?
What's
It's
this?
a really good price. Can't beat it.
I once fell off a truck, but that's...
Different story.
different story, yeah.
grievance.
Well, that story was okay. It makes sense today because I almost backed into a moving cart at work, a motorized cart, and my supervisor was like, watch it, Brian. And I'm thinking if she only knew, because there was one time I did walk backwards off the end of a box truck, but because I'm so used to falling, I have cat-like reflexes, and I actually spun around in midair and landed on all fours. And the guy I was
Wow.
working with is just like, really? One time I tripped off of a dock, and I was able to catch myself onto my van from falling. I'm trying to think where else I've fallen.
I am definitely way more clumsy than that, as anyone that knows me can tell you. But the most graceful fall I've ever had, I was on a ladder, and I fell off the ladder and somehow rolled into a chair. And I just sat there in the chair and it was like, wait, what happened? How did this possibly happen? But yeah, that was the only time.
Well, at least you were graceful at that point. I'm usually very good. I'm good at falling, so I'm good at catching that. But beyond that, it's very interesting. The mob has these deep-rooted connections in Pittsburgh, and people don't realize it because they're not out on the street mowing people down. No, it's all behind the
it's
scenes.
the more subtle thing.
The Lamplighter had huge mob connections out in Monroeville. It was actually owned by Almanzo, and Teddy of Teddy's Restaurant was the head chef at the Lamplighter before he opened Teddy's, so it is my assumption that he probably got his startup money through the mob. That's just a guess. But my grandfather used to do a lot of work for Almanzo, and it was nice because when you work for somebody in the plumbing industry, you work for all of their establishments. So Teddy would actually come to the work site and hand deliver hors d'oeuvres for my grandfather and my dad to eat while working on
the plumbing.
Almanzo's establishments.
Very cool.
Back in those days, like today during Christmas time, everybody has their ads and all of their circulars, and if you buy a lot in bulk, you get more promos, more specials, cheaper deals, things like that, right?
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
Yeah, like wholesale.
Yeah. So back in the day, they didn't give you discounts, they sent you on trips. So my grandfather, through his plumbing company, which was Crawford Plumbing and Heating, it's defunct now, but it was out of McKeesport, he would get sent on trips to Hawaii with my grandmother all the time. Almanzo had a private helicopter and would land in my grandparents' yard and fly them to the airport. When my parents got married, Almanzo gave them $1,000 cash. And that was back in the 80s, so $1,000 was more money than it is now. I mean, still, that would be a fantastic gift.
Yeah.
But back then, it was even a more fantastic gift.
That shows you how important good plumbing is.
Well, you know what?
How hard
It
it
is
is to find a good
important
plumber.
because plumbing, it's like an auto mechanic where
Yeah. I have a
they-
good plumber right now. Do you have a good plumber?
My dad.
Oh, yeah. And I guess maybe you.
Yeah. No, I do not know anything about plumbing, actually. I deal with a different type of shit, the bullshit that just
Variety.
oozes from my
The
mouth.
family business.
Yeah, I'm carrying on the
Yeah,
family
in
torch
spirit, in spirit.
Yeah, in spirit, exactly. But no, the mob was like big, and there was one time where I've got all of these great stories from my dad and my grandfather back in the day, but one time they were working on one of Monzo's establishments, and somebody was pissed because my grandfather, his company, was not a union operation. And they complained that they weren't in a union. So then all of a sudden, he's asked to go into a back room, and all of these limousines pull up in front of the building, and all of these guys come out of the cars in big trench coats. They go into the back room. They have a conversation. All of a sudden, there are no problems with Crawford Plumbing and Heating not being unionized. So the mob had a powerful hand in Pittsburgh. I was watching a documentary once about college betting, and basically they were fixing games up north, and all of the betting, even though this took place in New York, all of the betting came through Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh had huge ties to the mob.
Betting
I
on
can't remember,
college.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he went to jail in the 80s for rigging the Pennsylvania lottery.
Oh, really?
How do you rig it?
Yeah, he I think he painted the bottoms of numbers with some with paint, so only a few numbers would pop up. And apparently the number came up 666, and all these mobsters all won the lottery, and it was
If it was
went under federal
CNN,
investigation.
It can't be that hard.
if it was CNN, Sally Wiggins would have just leaked the information.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Sally Wiggins is?
Sally Wiggins.
No, that sounds
How
like a
long-
made.
She's
That
a
sounds like
local
Oh my
hero.
god! How
made-up
long have you?
name.
No, how long have you
It
lived
really
in
does.
Pittsburgh?
Sally Wiggins sounds
How
like a
long
made-up-
have you lived in Pittsburgh?
8 years?
8 years, and you do not know who Sally Wiggins is.
No.
She is like the queen of local television news in Pittsburgh. Sally Wiggins once came to my school for us reading so many books or something stupid like that.
Oh, that's nice.
Sally Wiggins once, actually, I felt very honored because, okay, I once performed on the stage of the Benedum with Jeff Goldblum and Ed Begley Jr.
Wow.
And it was very...
How often do you tell that story?
Very fantastic. Not often, actually, but I was there, and I'm on stage in the Benedum Center, which is one of the most prestigious stages in Pittsburgh, with Jeff Goldblum and Ed Begley Jr., two very famous actors. Ed Begley
Yeah.
Jr. is actually very well known for his radio acting as well, not just television acting. Jeff Goldblum obviously is known for television and mostly movies, especially with Jurassic Park and things like that.
And let's
So I'm
not
on
forget
stage
that
with
really
them.
terrible, the new Independence Day. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Resurgence.
It was awful. I loved it, but it was terrible.
Are you going to see Rogue One?
Of course, yeah. Actually, that one I'm looking forward to. I
So-
watched Independence Day on a plane, and I still regretted my decision. Yeah, it was terrible. But go on.
That's
sorry.
disappointing. So I'm on stage with him, and that's kind of cool, but a big shot like me, things like that just happen. You come to expect things like that. But what was really, really impressive, and what really made that experience the most memorable, was one of the nights Sally Wiggins herself comes down and sits in the audience to watch me perform at the Benedum Center with Jeff Goldblum and Ed Begley Jr. Sally Wiggins.
That's
I mean, that is, you fucking made it in Pittsburgh when Sally Wiggins pays money. She didn't probably pay. I mean,
No,
she's Sally
okay.
Wiggins. She
No,
gets
it-
everywhere for. She's like me. She gets
Yeah.
into everywhere for free. But when Sally Wiggins takes time out of her day to come see me, I mean, I guess in hindsight I should have expected it, but I don't know. I feel like you've really made it in Pittsburgh when Sally Wiggins comes to see you.
I mean, I can definitely see that. She's literally come to none of my shows, and
Yeah, I mean, and I've only had one show on the Benedum Center, and Sally Wiggins came to that show.
you're batting 1,000.
I'm batting 1,000.
So it's good to retire. You've made it.
I've made it. I mean, that's like Pittsburgh high class.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
I mean, who's the most famous person in Pittsburgh, in your opinion?
Mike Tomlin. I
Tomlin
think anyone
Schmomlin.
would
Tomlin
know
Schmomlin.
and love to see Mike Tomlin.
It's true.
Move
out in the
over,
street.
move over, Mike. Sally's coming through. There's a funny story about Sally, actually. One time I was listening to a speech by Jennifer Mealy. Do you remember Jennifer Mealy?
No.
Joe, do you remember her?
The name sounds familiar, but I'm terrible.
So
with
Jennifer
names.
Mealy was a very, very popular. I don't know if she was an anchor or a reporter. I can't remember. She's not Sally Wiggin quality. No, I shouldn't say she's not her quality. She didn't reach her level of status. Yes.
Stature.
Yes. Sally Wiggins. She's an award-winning anchor woman.
Cool.
I mean,
fantastic.
local Emmys.
I love journalists.
She's been in the business at the same station for like a gazillion years, which is very
What station?
difficult. WTAE.
She's
NBC? Is that what that is?
No, that's ABC.
yeah. NBC is
WPXI.
yeah,
See, I don't know.
So yeah, that you've got what's his name and
David Johnson.
and Peggy Finnegan. Wow.
Yeah.
But I don't know anybody. So you don't watch any local news. That's your problem. So
Not often.
I mean, but everybody knows who Sally Wiggins is. I'm like really kind of floored that you have no clue who she
oh,
is.
I'm sure I would know all these people by face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
how I am typically too. It's like I cannot remember.
But that's like a
names for the life of
star
me.
that like everybody knows. So anyways, Jennifer Mealy is at this event out in Irwin. Again, I was invited to this event because status. When people know who you are, you just get invited to things like this. So it's this function. Jennifer Mealy speaking, and she's talking about her co-worker Sally Wiggins. And apparently, Sally likes to eat really weird foods, and not weird as in variety. Weird as in she'll shove anything into her mouth and chow it down. Well, apparently someone threw away a pizza in the trash can, and Sally Wiggins saw this pizza, and she couldn't allow herself to let this pizza go to waste. So here Sally Wiggins is picking the piece of pizza out of the trash and scarfing it down.
Listen, we've all been college students before. I think we've all had garbage pizza. No.
But Sally Wiggins still eats garbage pizza, which just shows you how humble Sally Wiggins is. For somebody of her level of excellence to humble herself.
And she went to your show at the Bennett.
Well, that wasn't humbling herself. I mean, that's just, that's important people meeting important people. I mean, I'm sure I could be coerced to see Sally Wiggins perform somewhere. I think for her it was as much of a pleasure to watch a show, but it was also kind of an honor for her as well. I mean, it was two important people exchanging pleasantries is really what it was. I mean, even if she didn't like the Music Man, which is what we were performing.
Oh, I love the Music Man.
Great performance. Yeah, it was a great show.
Who'd you play? You played.
I played a member of the band.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we were in the closing credits.
Number 3.
It was number
Child
one.
number one.
Number one, of course. Jeff Goldblum, actually, he heard that I was going to be cast into this role and actually canceled out on a big movie deal to come to Pittsburgh to play in the Music Man with me.
Yeah,
Cool.
I believe that.
I wish I could have seen that.
Oh, it was fantastic. I may be able to find the video. I actually have a shirt. We exchanged autographs. I signed a shirt for Jeff Goldblum. He signed a shirt for me. Same with Ed Begley Jr. So, we've exchanged autographs so that way we can, I don't know, just remember.
Yeah.
The time.
For me, I remembered giving of myself towards this performance. He remembered meeting what would be a radio star. But it really was a cool event. But yeah, Sally Wiggins, she'll just chow down on anything, apparently. I would not.
Garbage pizza.
I would not. Like, if something hits the floor, it's done for me. But,
Adjacent to refuse is refuse.
Yes, exactly.
It's a George Costanza line.
I like it.
I was like, wait, I know that line.
Well,
Or wait, no, maybe Jerry says that. Because George is the one eating the garbage.
Yeah, it was the Eclair.
Yeah.
well,
God, that was a great show.
Did you not watch Seinfeld?
I do, but I don't remember that episode. But
It was the garbage Eclair.
Same,
Nice.
yeah, exact same premise. And Sally Wiggins was George Costanza in this.
You were saying it was the chocolate side.
however, George Costanza is a loser, and Sally Wiggins sets the bar.
We're all losers. I think that's what the show's about.
Speak for yourself. Up next, we're going to talk with Mr. Mike McMullen with our weekly political update. And then after that, Joe and I are going to talk about this Sunday's Acoustic Brunch, which is also a toy drive, And I'll be there, so you can meet Joe, you can meet myself, you can meet Jeremy Kaywood, who was on a few weeks ago, and some other fantastic musicians. They'll be performing to raise money, to buy toys, and also to collect toys to underprivileged kids. That's right, a bunch of superstars helping out the people of Pittsburgh. Mike McMullen up next. You're listening to Pittsburgh's Voice for Local Music.
Come on, go! It's green! Come on! Go!
God damn it, Brian. You need to calm down
Yeah,
with
I'm
the road
sick of
rage.
these people, these assholes.
It's the road rage, man. You gotta calm down on the road rage.
Well, I want to get to where we're going. We have a lot of great stuff coming up. We're going to Falling Water,
Bicycle heaven.
the Mattress Factory,
Tuck knob.
Trundle Manor. All right, which way do I go? Which way do I go? Come on,
right,
come on.
Right.
Too late now.
Right, come on.
Too late now. I gotta keep going. I'm not gonna sit here like some asshole.
Oh, come on, man.
All right, you're listening to the Culture Cruise. You can find us at riversedgepgh.com.
Your local Pittsburgh area museum podcast.
Yes, riversedgepgh.com, and come take a ride with us.
All right, we are back on the River's Edge Radio Network. I am Pittsburgh's voice. Oh no, I am Pittsburgh's moral compass. We are the voice for local music here in Pittsburgh, the River's Edge Radio Network, and I have Mike McMullen. What's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
I have Mike McMullen on the phone with me right now for your weekly political update. Mike, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. We're gonna try to be brief. We started a little late, and we had a rambling about the mob and about other random things. It's a show about nothing today, Mike, because I literally rolled into the studio, and we're just making things happen. But with superstars like us, I mean, we're talented enough to just really make gold out of crap. So, Mike, how are you?
Good, doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. We're just here. Mike, did you see the latest news coming from City Council? They are trying to, and I think this is a good thing. They're trying to put, what is that? We're trying to
That's your
put.
show.
Oh yeah. We're trying to put limitations. The city is trying to put limitations on conversion therapy.
What's that? I'm sorry?
The city of Pittsburgh is trying to put limitations on the age for people who want to put their kids through conversion therapy.
Interesting.
They're trying to make it less available, which I think is a good thing. I think that's...
Wait, what year is it that we're still discussing this?
I know. Well, that's the thing, is there's like a fear of this coming into the news because of Mike Pence and him being the vice president.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what are your thoughts on that?
It's an interesting point. You know, is it a relevant topic? I don't think so. You know, let's talk about jobs, taxes, and the economy, and moving this country forward. And you know,
I think it's relevant if you have a kid who is, you know, somebody who's come out as gay or bisexual or something of that nature. And I also think it's important for educators and stuff who deal with kids.
Well, it is. I mean, you know, and let me refute, and my apologies, you know, if I offended anybody. Look, every situation, every issue is germane to a certain populace, a certain portion of the general populace. But look, this country has voted for change, and the thing is, you know, look, the Trump-Pence administration already is moving forward. They nominated Major General Kelly, another Marine. Hoorah!
Yeah.
I mean, look, these are just sharp, articulate. You know, not people looking to make a buck after they serve their time. They can make all the money they want, but I mean, this is about serving time and in country, and you know, putting country first and moving this country forward. So
I will say, Mike, I am impressed with some of the picks he's made from former military personnel. I think that was a great decision, and I think some of the fear with Mike Pence, I would be more afraid of him as a president than a vice president, because Donald Trump historically has been more socially liberal, to be honest.
Yes and no.
Moderate to liberal. He's not. I don't think he's going to be the one out there championing championing these types of therapies, the conversion type of therapies. I don't see him as being that. I do see Pence as being the type of guy to do that, but I think in a vice presidential role, I don't think it's as big of a fear as if he were to become president, if something were to happen to President-elect Trump.
Well, look, I mean, Reagan was what, 70, 72 when he took office. Trump was what, 70? Look, I mean, the one thing with Trump, whether you like him or not, I mean, look, he's a firebrand full of energy. I mean, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he's up like at freaking 4:30 in the morning every morning.
Well, apparently he doesn't drink, so all of the crazy texts that go on in the middle of the night, they're not drunken texts. He's sober.
No. Well, yeah.
You'd have thought he was drunk whenever he went after China, though, right? I mean, you gotta admit, that was kind of crazy. I mean, the fact that it's almost hilarious, Mike, but at the same time, it is kind of frightening that we could be in a position where foreign policy is decided over Twitter.
Yeah, I mean,
it's in one way, if it wasn't us, if this wasn't something that could affect us here in the United States, I would be rolling on the floor laughing. The fact that, like, a leader is out there. There was a article from the Wall Street Journal where they talked about China being angry because Trump leveled them with angry tweets. So he's actually getting under the skin of the Chinese through angry tweets in the middle of the night.
Well, good point, but I mean, did you see who we picked for ambassador of China? Governor Terry Branstad of Iowa. You got to understand, this guy, I mean, there's no term limits in Iowa. I mean, the people keep voting Terry Branstad in. I mean, he's like a 4 or 5 term governor of Iowa. He's walking away from a moderate, Midwest, upper Rust Belt state and going to be ambassador to China. I mean, this is about putting country and service to this country first. And yes, there's going to be some controversial picks in the administration. I mean, I'm not sold on Ben Carson as HUD secretary, but as I said before, Brian, we had the deepest bench in the Republican field running for president: governors, senators, business people. And I hope he would tap some of those people somewhere as a role, an advisor. I'm not into titles, but somewhere in the administration, an advisor, a cabinet position, or whatever.
But not Marco Rubio, because he wouldn't be. You couldn't really expect him to show up to work, right? I mean, he never showed up as a senator.
Well, you know what? Good point. But you know what? Look, Brian, like I've said from day one since we started and we've met and talked, everybody needs a seat at the table. And you know what? I hope he appoints some Democrats, and I think he will appoint some Democrats to the administration. Because look, if you want to get something done in government, whether it be city council, I mean, when you have to work with both sides of the aisle, unfortunately, in major urban cities like Pittsburgh, Detroit, Philadelphia, everything's, they're all Democrats. So, if you want to get anything done, it's just a rubber stamp. But the thing is, though, when you work, in a borough council meeting, a supervisor meeting, when you have Democrats and Republicans, or a state government, you got Democrats, Republicans, or a governor in the House and the Senate, or a president in both houses of Congress. Look, you can't get everything what you want. I mean, and like anything, yes, Republicans control the House and the Senate, but the thing is, they're not going to get a rubber stamp, and I would hope they would not get a rubber stamp on all the issues. Because like anything, if you want to get any major piece of legislation done, you need bipartisan support. And ultimately, I think that's what we're going to get.
I agree completely, but I guess my point with Marco Rubio is he actually has to show up to the table first to get a seat.
Well, Brian, I agree. Hey, but the voters of Florida reelected him for another 6-year term. So, like it or not, right or wrong,
he would fit in Harrisburg, Mike. In Harrisburg, there's a button that you click to vote, and I went in there for orientation when I worked for the House caucus, the Republican caucus, and they were giving us a tour of the Capitol. And one of the things that they showed us on this tour was in the House chambers, there's a button that you click yes or no to vote on an issue or abstain. Well, you can actually you could stick a quarter into that button and then go back to your office, and it shows you as voting yes or no through all of the votes. So it shows up as you're there. It shows your attendance as being there, even if you're not. Maybe that's how Bernie Sanders was able to do it, because I feel like And that's one thing. Marco Rubio, okay, young guy, right? Can't show up for work, but wants a promotion. But Bernie Sanders, old man Sanders, he's like older than time itself. He manages to make it to work all the time. But Marco Rubio can't bother to show up. That rubs me the wrong way. That's one thing. When somebody doesn't show up for work, and I remember being there for the first day, the first session of the House when they were swearing in Representative Dunbar and all of the other new people. That's who I worked for at the time. And the place was empty as far as legislators go. Nobody showed up for the first day of work. And I thought, my God, you can't even show up for the first day of work?
Well, Brian, unfortunately, look.
Any other job, you'd be gone. You'd be gone, but you're right. Like with Marco Rubio, they just rehire these clowns, these asshats, these lowlifes, I'm sorry, you're a lowlife scumbag piece of shit, and you deserve to be on the side of the street holding up a damn sign asking for a dollar bill because, my God, you can't even show up for work. At least that guy has enough guts to get onto the road and hold a sign. At least he's doing his job. His job may be not contributing to anything, but, you know, those guys make a lot of money. At least he's putting out some sort of effort. These guys are just back in the office watching TV, putting the freaking quarter in, going to the house barber, living like a hog on the taxpayer's dollar, and they can't even show up for work.
Well, Brian, unfortunately, our elected officials, some of those, I'd say 89% of our state senators and state representatives have the best job they're ever going to get in life because they only work like so many. I mean, hell. I mean, they're off in the summer. They go back into session like the third week in September. They run till like early December. They go back in like January, February. I mean, they're a full-time legislature, but they get paid $80 to $100 a year with all the perks and benefits, and they only work part-time. It's bullshit. You know, it's running the muck, and that's why Senator Scott Wagner is going to announce in January, the senator from York County, who is like the Pennsylvania Donald Trump, going to be running for a governor, is going to announce. I'm not endorsing him, but I'm going to support him 110%, no matter who else is running. I think he's got a great chance to win. I think he is going to win the GOP primary, and Governor Tom Wolf had better be on notice right now. But more importantly, I can tell you I have good news myself personally. I got my inauguration tickets this week.
Yes, that's right. We're going to have live coverage from the inauguration here at the Rivers Edge Facebook page.
They are not easy to get. It's not what you know, it's who you know. But anything in life, it's political, and you have to request your tickets through your congressman or United States senator, and your name goes on a waiting list for, i.e., ranking of, sort of like, are you a VIP, in your congressional district? Believe me, I'm a low man on a totem pole, but I've got my 4 tickets, and my group that we're going down with, like the 6 of us, we've got 20 of them. So, and no, we're not selling them or anything. So, actually, I requested that morning, the day after. And actually, I booked my hotel room that day. And, of course, within 2 days, our hotel was sold out. So, I'm looking forward to doing live feed and live video and Facebook Live for the Rivers Edge and many other news outlets down there. Because, like I said, and honestly, for all my years being involved in politics, this is my first inauguration. I didn't go to W's in 2004. But so this will be my first one. So, look, and it's pretty monumental. And there's a lot of groups in Western Pennsylvania going down for the day, like charter buses and so forth. So it's going to be an exciting time. And, look, politics never ends. And the thing is, on the recount, well, I'm sorry, Jill Stein, you're just spinning your wheels and wasting your money. They dismissed the recount vote in Pennsylvania. Lawrence Tavis, who's running for the Republican Party chairman. He's the legal counsel to the PAGOP. If I were a member of the Republican State Committee, I'd be voting for Lawrence. I've known him well. Sharp, articulate, the best election attorney in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. But, he took it to court, and they dismissed it. And, of course, if you look at a lot of the other states, Wisconsin, Michigan, her recounts aren't going to get it anywhere. So she raised all this money, all for a cause.
Well, the funny thing about that, Mike, is that Hillary Clinton throughout the debate said that you just need to accept the results of the election. Just have to accept the results. But then she chimed in on the recount. The hypocrisy is just astounding. One more thing before I let you go, and I'm going to bring in Tara, our esteemed producer, and I'm going to bring in Joe and get their comments as well. Last week I did a serious news segment here, and I put out the glasses, the news glasses, and I just wanted to know, Mike, why during presidential debates, why does Anderson Cooper put on glasses for presidential debates? He never wears them any other time. He doesn't wear them during his show, but he pulls out the glasses. We're airing grievances, and that's something that bothers me, because to me it's saying, CNN is telling me, I have perfect vision. I have sniper vision. I can read like a small sign across a football field. My eyesight is so great. So I'm asking all of you guys, no, I'm serious, like it's really weird. And it hasn't...
Is he holding cards?
What's that?
Is he holding cards?
Who?
Anderson
Anderson?
Cooper.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Because there's a good chance he's an older
that's
gentleman.
true.
He probably needs reading glasses.
Nearsight.
That might be true, but I feel like they're...
normal news, it's prompters, which are further away.
That's true. That's a good point. But I feel like they all pull out the glasses
To be
when
fair,
it's
though,
time
He does
for...
look pretty intelligent with the glasses.
Why do people think that intelligence... Why does having bad genes in your eyes mean that you're more intelligent than other people? That's a grievance of mine, because I have perfect vision. I think I'm pretty sharp.
Well, Brian, I'm going to be a real sarcastic bastard. Maybe you're in the wrong business and the wrong profession, because you got 2020. You should be flying fighter jets of that nature, because if you want to fly or like a chopper or a jet, you need 2020 vision. So you might want to contact our local congressman and get you into the Naval Academy as an appointment and start looking at it that way. But as one of your guests said, I see both. I see your point, but I also see his point. Is that I don't have 20/20 vision. I mean, do I wear glasses all the time? No, contacts or whatever, depending on the day. But if you're really reading a teleprompter, you don't need glasses. But they're called readers. You can buy them at Walmart or at any drugstore for that matter, just like for smaller, finer print. So if you're reading from an index card or so forth, like to get a point across, yes, you don't have 20/20 in that sense. But
would you put it past CNN and other networks to provide glasses?
Hell no.
Just for show.
They do it for freaking
then you can wear it on the nose too and kind of look down on people.
It's show business.
Yeah, they do it for ratings.
I like the one guy.
Anderson Cooper's looks intelligent. He's pulled out his glasses to read.
Listen, the secret isn't wearing the glasses; it's knowing when to take them off.
That's it. That's exactly it. Because this guy on CBS, and I tried to spoof this when I did my news segment. He's kind of turned away, and as soon as the camera turns on, he's immediately taking the glasses off, like on cue. And I'm thinking, like, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? But that's what they do. It's like it's all about the glasses in the news. I don't get it. Maybe I need to go blind.
Well, the thing is, Brian, it's one of those things. I mean, all media, especially visual media, they try to get the edge, to pull out the glasses, to pull out that look. That's why all these newscasters have this like 100%.
Maybe if they went the other direction and nobody wore glasses, people would watch because it's something different. Oh man, these guys are really, they're really on it. They got perfect vision. They can really see what's going on out there.
Good point. But what's this Tara thing? Come on, she's got to chime in on this.
I have no idea.
Oh,
do you wear glasses, Tara?
I wear glasses for driving and in the nighttime.
Okay, do you wear glasses when you want people to pay attention to you? Is that something that you...
No.
You don't put glasses on
I don't
to do
understand that. I don't know
Maybe
what
you
you're
should
getting
start
at.
wearing glasses when you do this show. Maybe people will take us seriously.
No, I can't look at a computer and wear my glasses. That's not what they're for.
All right, well you need to put the show before your personal comfort.
Okay, I'm fine with that. And maybe that's what Anderson Cooper. That's exactly what Anderson Cooper does, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think his glasses. I don't think his glasses are real. I think they're faux glasses just for show.
It's all just for show. That's the point. It's all
CNN sucks.
They all suck.
They all suck.
All right, Mike, thanks. We'll be back with Joe Pucciarelli talking about the Acoustic Brunch and the Toy Drive next, right around the promos here on the River's Edge.
Hi, I'm Mike Storer, host of the Awesome Cast, which you can hear right here on River's Edge Radio. We're talking tech, getting geeky every week with people from Pittsburgh in the industry. Go check us out, awesomecast.net, or listen to us right here on River's Edge Radio, Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. after Funny Money.
All right, we're going to talk about the Acoustic Brunch here, and shit just got real because Joe's got the glasses on. We're gonna talk about his event.
Wait,
so
wait,
you
wait.
know-
Okay, all right. Now it's real.
You gotta take them off for show, like
No,
now we're
no,
really into it.
That's only on emphasis. Listen, this show is going to be fantastic, and now I can't see anything.
There we go.
So, all right, there we go. Now
Let's
I can
see.
see again. I'd like to think that I would do really well in a zombie apocalypse. I always like, everybody envisions themselves a survivor, but I know my glasses are going to fall like day fucking
Well, here's
one.
the thing. Okay, that's a good point. During a zombie apocalypse, people's eyesight get worse as it goes on. If you
yeah.
have bad vision,
Oh, yeah.
then all of a sudden you need upgrades to your glasses. You can't get those upgrades, then you can't see,
No, you're-
and then you become zombified. But does the zombie have poor vision?
The zombie
'Cause I
would
can
have poor
easily see
vision.
the zombie like gnawing on this microphone because it thinks
But-
it's somebody's arm because
But
it
I think
has no
it goes.
clue
I think it
what's
goes
going
by
on.
scent more than so.
So
I mean,
zombies smell their way to their victims.
I mean, that's
So it's almost like a dog.
yeah, it's sound and hear. Like it's a. I have a feeling that the eyes would definitely not be the best tool for them because they're kind of stupid when it comes to vision.
But they're smart
most-
when it comes to smells.
Yeah, and sounds. They follow sounds and they follow smells.
That's interesting. So they're like
I don't
animals.
know.
But how does that make any sense? Because why would their sense of
We're animals.
No, but I'm saying, why would their sense of smell heighten when they become zombified? That doesn't make any sense. Are they mutants
No,
now?
I think it becomes focused.
Focused. Okay, so it's, finely tuned.
And that is a different kind of heightenedness.
Okay. So it's kind of like when you
it's-
lose your eyesight and your hearing
Yeah.
becomes better.
I think.
Yeah,
I
your
think
brain,
it'd also
man,
be
it's
like.
amazing.
I think it'd also be kind of like whenever you're walking and you pass a bakery and you smell fresh cookies and it's like that's all you can think about. I bet it's like that with flesh. For them.
Interesting.
If I had to guess.
It's interesting.
Never been a zombie before though.
Yeah, I never have either, but I imagine... I don't know. It would be, I think, kind of awful because you'd be crawling around on the ground.
It would be
and
terrible.
be very... Well, I guess some of them stagger. Oh, God, I'd hate to get stuck behind a zombie at Walmart. That's like the worst thing. when
Listen,
you get
that
stuck
happens to me
behind...
literally every time I go to Walmart.
Yeah, you get stuck behind, somebody who's,
I was once at Walmart and
walking the speed of snail.
I saw somebody in one of the motorized carts and their motorized cart broke. So and then their significant other, I guess, was pushing them in another motorized cart. It was amazing.
I'm surprised they didn't just get up and walk.
And the sad part was they were still passing people as they were we had one motorized cart pushing another one. It was pretty amazing.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I love when you get the dueling motorized carts, and neither one of them... My favorite thing is when you get a big fatso in a motorized cart, and they can walk, and they should walk.
How
But
do you
they're-
know they can walk?
Because you see them walk over to the motorized cart. And you
Short
see them-
distances
I'm sorry,
versus
no, you
long
see them
distance.
waddle up to the
Oh
motorized
my
park.
God.
And often from the first parking spot in the parking lot as well.
You mean handicap parking lot?
Well, as close
parking
as you can
spot.
get. I mean, some of them, if they're handicapped, they're handicapped. But, some of them are just, they need to walk and they're not. They're
Right.
motorizing.
You're
But
very
all I'm saying-
judgmental.
No, I'm not being judging. I'm trying to care for them, actually, because the thing is if you're in a position where you can't even walk through the store, but you don't have a medical condition. If you have a medical condition, that's different. But if you just...
But how do you know? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How do you know what's going
suppose.
on inside the body?
I suppose.
I don't know.
And on
I mean,
top
you
of
can
that,
tell me I'm
it
wrong.
does, supporting a lot of weight also adds a ton of pain, I'm sure,
Well, I suppose.
So, it's a little tough.
It is tough. But I just think...
It's like one of
you
those
need to
things that's
lose
the
weight-
best thing you
Derailed
could
you.
possibly do is the
just-
thing that sucks the
Don't back
most.
down.
Yeah.
Don't back down from us, Brian. You
No,
you
no,
could be
I
wrong.
mean, if they do have a medical condition, I could see, but it's just I don't know, I just feel like if you need to exercise, what better way than walk around Walmart?
Yeah, walking is the best medicine.
Except for swimming. They say swimming's actually, really,
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah,
for you.
low
swimming's-
impact, high
Yeah.
resistance.
So, I love
Swimming's
swimming.
pretty great. Yeah. I miss swimming.
I do too. When's summer coming
You
back?
could do it
This
anytime.
stuff sucks.
There's pools and
That costs money.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're all starving artists. here.
exactly.
Speaking of artists,
true.
speaking of not starving, but people who are down on their luck.
And not just people that are down on their luck. We're also donating for sick children as well. And
Oh, okay.
we're
So very down on their
yeah,
luck.
we're gonna be bringing the toys to the Children's Hospital, and we're gonna be donating a bunch of them to them because a lot of kids that can't be home for the holidays and everything. So and also if they're accepting gift cards as well because some of the items that are the most requested are obviously more expensive. So, and also a lot of the kids like shopping for themselves too.
I heard a lot of kids are asking for Walmart gift cards.
Yeah, the Walmart's one of them. Target, Amazon, Toys R Us.
That's like the last place I would want to get a gift card.
Walmart has everything, though.
Walmart does
They
have
do.
everything. I don't dislike. Well, I
mean,
dislike certain Walmarts. Like the
I dislike
yeah.
Walmart as a whole, as a company, as the Walton family. I
don't know.
dislike
They
everything.
pay better than any other retailer.
That's completely
at least,
false.
Well, the retailers that are in their group, they definitely do.
No,
they pay better than Target. They pay better than Kmart. They pay better than all of the other.
See, okay, I'm looking at other companies like Costco versus.
Sure, but I wouldn't put them in the same group because Costco is a wholesaler. I would compare them to
Well,
Sam's
same thing
Club.
with Sam's. Yeah,
I would.
Walmart company.
Well, they are, yeah, but I'm comparing like Walmart to Target and Kmart and
Yeah.
Sears and all of these places that are like the multi-department stores that you go into, and Walmart pays actually a lot more than all of them. And I even though I don't necessarily agree with all of their policies, it's kind of one of those things. Why doesn't anyone talk about Kmart? Why doesn't anyone protest about Target?
Listen.
Seriously, I mean they make dollars
I understand.
less on the,
I understand.
on the hour.
Why does nobody talk about Target? But Kmart. I mean, they got enough problems, man. They're.
What's wrong with Kmart?
Self-inflicted.
By the way,
Well,
have you seen Kmart's in other countries? Like.
No, I don't think
No.
so.
They're really nice stores, and then here it's like there's tumbleweeds rolling across.
What's
and
wrong with Kmart? Do you really want to get into that?
And we only have a few more minutes left, so probably no.
Okay.
So, but I'm sure they'd accept Kmart gift cards as well. But the ones that we have listed are
I used to work for Kmart.
Really?
Yeah.
But you hate it.
Oh no, I don't hate it. I don't hate really any of the companies.
Do you
I mean,
hate anything?
I hate people who don't know how to do their job. They're slow, but then they get an attitude when you try to help them.
Like Marco Rubio.
Well, no, he just doesn't show up for work. No, but like today, okay, so I'm late coming in, and I told you we had to work overtime, but the person I was with initially was so unbelievably slow and not very competent at their job. So we work on a machine that sorts different files, and you have to, it's a big machine, and the bins will fill up and you have to empty them. If you don't empty them, it'll start beeping, and if you really don't empty them, the entire machine will shut off. It'll also jam as it's going on. So she's there and she's not getting the job done, which, I understand some people are slower, so it's like, well, I'll go help. But it'll get jammed, and she'll be looking like there's 4 shelves, and she'll be looking on the bottom shelf for a jam that's on the top shelf. I'm like, well, maybe she's new, maybe she doesn't know. So I tell her, when the light is on, it's like 4 lights in a row, like going from top to the bottom. If the bottom light is blinking, that means it's the bottom shelf. If it's the middle light, it's the middle shelf. If it's the top light, it's the top shelf. So I tell her this, and I get the jam. Well, then she keeps just looking everywhere for random jams. Like, I've told her like 3 or 4 times, and she's like, I know how to do it. And I'm thinking, no, you clearly don't, because I've had to come down here like 4 or 5 times and re-explain myself to you. So then I'm here feeding these files into this machine, and the last stacker, and at this point there's 3 people sweeping this machine. Typically, there's 1 feeder and 1 sweeper. So we have 3 people sweeping and 1 person feeding. And I'm like running back and forth, pulling things down off the top of the machine and everything else. Well, the last stacker starts beeping. Beep, 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 beep. And it just keeps going. Beep, 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 beep. And it's really annoying. Beep, 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 beep. And you're just thinking, please, for goodness sake, just stop beeping. Clear it. And it just goes beep, 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 beep. So then I have to leave what I'm doing, run to the back of the machine, even though there's 3 people sweeping this machine. I have to run to the back, clear it out, and then run back up and continue feeding, and I don't blame the other 2 people because they're not going to tackle this woman to go sweep the bin because she was the last one. But I mean, my God, you guys have dealt with assholes at work, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like when you have alerts and things like that going off, and people are just completely oblivious to it. They just don't hear. It's
She heard it.
Yeah.
Nobody didn't.
No, they just zone it out.
She just doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's just gonna do what she's gonna
We're
do.
people who care.
It's like, I'm not gonna let that machine tell me what to do.
I don't really care. I just, I wanted to get out of there so I could get here. I'm killing myself trying to get out as close to on time as possible.
Yeah.
I was supposed to produce Matt's show today, but he ended up flying solo because I was stuck there. I barely made it in here. But I will be there Sunday for the Acoustic Brunch, and I will be there on time because I am off Friday, Saturday this week, and I work overnight, which means I'll be off Saturday night going into Sunday morning. And I am excited.
So I might, for the first time in my life, see a well-rested Brian Crawford.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm excited, though. This is going to be fun. I love it. I love broadcasting this. We have some fantastic musicians that are going to be performing. And let me see if I can pull up the list here. We have Natalie Rogers. You can say the second one because I don't know how to say that name.
Tobacco.
Okay. So it's kind of like tobacco almost.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was thinking that, but I didn't want to completely mess it up. Sadie Friend. Jordan McLaughlin, Spencer Allen Patrick, which actually Spencer was the second person to perform live over the River's Edge radio net waves, but he was the first person to do it outside of the studio.
Nice.
Fun fact.
Trivia.
Was that at Acoustic Brunch?
That was at Cousins Lounge.
Oh, nice.
Right here in Millville.
Oh, cool. Spencer's the best.
Spencer's awesome. Ryan Hoffman. Actually, Spencer introduced me to Jeremy Kaywood. And that was through the Strip District Music Festival. I was having him come in for an interview, and he's like, "Hey, can I bring Jeremy Kaywood?" And I'm like, "I don't know who that is, but sure." And that's how I met Jeremy, and then the rest is history. Dale Mangold, Joanna Chastik, right? How do you say her last name? Okay. Drew, Amy, Dorothy, Six. So lots of good stuff. And Joanna is fantastic. I just didn't know how to say her last name, but she's a fantastic violinist.
Oh my God, yeah.
Unbelievable.
And it's funny too, actually, how I met Jeremy was one night a friend had me go to the Funhouse.
Not Sadie Friend.
No, different friend.
Different friend.
Actually spelled IEND.
Oh.
But yeah, she had me go to she was like, "Oh, will you go with me to a show?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And I was like, "Oh, hey, that's the guy that Facebook says I should be friends with." She's like, "You should go talk to him." So I was like, "Hey, Facebook says we should be friends." He's like, "Cool, man, then let's be friends." And that's Jeremy right there.
That sounds exactly like something he would say.
It was exactly.
That almost sounded like his voice the way you did it.
Yeah, and then the next it was like Mother's Day, and he's like, "Hey, I need some people to come down to Acoustic Brunch." I was like, "All right, cool, I'm in." Knowing
how did you get involved with the Acoustic Brunch on a regular basis?
Well, that just went down the one day. And then it started showing up regularly, and he was getting a little worn out because Jeremy's always doing things all over the city. He's running sound, playing shows as well as working. So he was, Sunday morning is a little tough sometimes, So I think he was getting a little worn out. So that way, if he needs a week off or so, I can cover. If I need a week off, he can cover. So it's nice. So that way, you're not tied to having to be there every Sunday, especially whenever you're working sound until 2:00 in the morning the night before, and then hanging out after that because you don't go right to sleep after you run sound all night. So
that's a weird event because not this event in particular, but the Acoustic Brunch in general, because sometimes the place is packed.
Yeah.
And other times it's you, Jeremy, and like 2 other people.
Yeah, and exactly.
But either way, it's always fun.
It's always a good time, and there's always good music, and sometimes I, as a musician, prefer the weeks where we don't have anybody, because it's like then we'll have random things like
a balloon fight.
Yeah, last week actually
the sidewalk.
that legitimately happened.
Yeah, it did happen. What's this? Tara?
Water balloon?
No, just balloons.
Regular balloons. Like
we have no idea why they were there. I have pictures of it actually. Like there was just all these random like balloons.
Tons of balloons.
Just tons of them. And
That's
then
wonderful.
and then so Jeremy walks in and he starts kicking the balloons and he's screaming like a little kid, and it was amazing. And then of course it like spilled out into the streets, and it was incredible. There was no idea why there were all these balloons.
There were like probably 70 balloons, would you say?
There was a good amount of balloons.
They were all like teal green.
Yeah, it was all teal blues.
Some sort of a weird
There's something going on.
color. Yeah, it was very, very, very cool. A lot of fun.
It was amazing.
See, I like things like that. Like that's one thing as I get older and I'm turning 30, I'm glad that I don't age that much. Like I look at my friends and they, oh, I had a rough weekend. I'm too tired to go out this weekend. And I'm just like, I've been up for 3 days. Like really? We can't. Yeah, if you send that, are you logged onto my Facebook, Tara, or are you logged onto your own?
I think I'm on yours.
You're on mine. Okay, so let's send that to my Facebook page. She can pull it up on the actual stream.
There's just all these
through the web view.
Nice.
There's just so many balloons.
So if you could send it to my messenger.
And actually, this picture is the Dorothy Six.
We'll post it in the live video comments. That's what
Dorothy
we'll do.
Six, who will be playing there, and then I also.
It'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. The food there is always good. I had a good burrito there.
Oh yeah,
last time.
the food is awesome.
Yeah, the food's
Where,
great.
Hambone's?
Yeah, at Hambone's.
Yeah, the food is great.
And I
there.
like it because you can drink as soon as it opens, which is
Yeah.
nice. So a lot of times when I'm going to the Acoustic Brunch, I'm going after work, so I like to get a few drinks.
Yeah.
While I'm there, and it's a good time.
Yeah, it's always a good time. It's you know, I love it. It's really great because every now and then we'll get somebody that I've never seen play before ever, you know, and it's like, and every time I get blown away. It's like it's amazing the caliber of musicians that we have in the city that I just haven't even seen yet. So, and it's kind of, you know, this week is a really good one to check out. I mean, because the toy drive is great in and of itself, but the talent that we have there is just unreal. And then in a few more weeks, actually, we're going to be having another drive this on the 31st.
Yes,
we're going to be having a food drive, and we're going to be collecting non-perishable goods.
and that's nice because it's after Christmas, and for some reason
Exactly.
people feel like that there's nobody starving or nobody needs
No,
anything.
no,
As soon
the
as-
whole
as soon as-
year,
as soon
no
as
one-
Christmas ends, I mean, everybody is just peachy keen.
Exactly, and they have to deplete a lot of their supplies for Christmas, and holidays in general. So, come time for the new year, they're running low on supplies again, and that's so we figured we'll do the toy drive before because you know, kids want to open gifts on Christmas, and then you know, and then we'll do the food drive afterwards, so that way they get some food for the. And we'll be having more information on that. I'm sure you'll be sharing it. I think are you going to be live
I think
casting
we're
that
going
as
to
well?
be broadcasting both of them.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice.
The River's Edge just commented on the Facebook page that they're a fan of the show.
Oh, nice.
Glad to know.
Wait.
The River's Edge page, yeah. Somebody.
I hope the
apparently
River's Edge is a fan of the River's Edge.
especially like my show, because the River's this show used to be called the River's Edge actually.
I don't
That was-
understand.
Somebody
you're
who's
saying.
somebody who's an editor of the River's Edge
okay.
page commented on the River's Edge video, but they didn't change it to their personal page, so it's showing that the network itself said,
Yeah.
"Hey guys, what up, B? Fan of the show." So
Well, you gave me those privileges too without even, I mean,
yeah, anybody
Yeah.
who's involved in the network, I give those permissions because I would like them to be able to post things about their show throughout the week to
gotcha.
kind of spur interest. And of course, I'm the
Yeah.
only one who does it.
Yeah.
Well,
and-
yeah.
Except for Mike, but Mike does it. Mike Sasson he does it on his own, and Alex Clements, they do it on their own Mike Sasson show page. They're the only show on the network that has their own kind of page, and maybe we'll all do that at some point, but until I get other people posting, I'm not going to. But we're going to take a quick break, and after that, we're going to end with the weird news, and I don't know, I don't know, do I want to get a nap after this, or am I just going to go into it? I think I'm just going to
You're gonna say that you're gonna get a nap
Yeah.
after this, and then
we
you're
got
gonna
we got a
you're gonna
couple
figure out
shows
some other
tonight.
things to
Alter the
do.
Design at the Funhouse at Mr. Small's and Chrome Moses at the James Street Gastropub and Speakeasy. So I'm going to go to both
Cool.
of those.
I haven't seen the
tonight.
new James Street setup yet.
I think they're going to be down. I think they're probably going to be downstairs. I would imagine.
Oh, okay.
So the upstairs is what's renovated. I could be wrong, but I think they're
Yeah.
downstairs. We're going to take a break. Up next, a modern aged Grinch here on the River's Edge.
Would you be interested in developing conscious choice? Would you be interested in creating reactions rather than waiting for one to come? Would you be interested in combining serendipity and synchronicity? Would you be interested in making 1 + 1 = 3? Would you be interested in finding out about full impact mindfulness? If so, I challenge you to join myself, Jim Ellermeyer, a cognitive behavioral health therapist, every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the River's Edge, where we will challenge you to allow us to help you help yourself to fully participate in your life. Let the adventure begin.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
A Florida man is being accused of being a Grinch. Why do you ask? And I thought this was relevant and germane to our discussion before that last song, which, by the way, that was a rude song to play. Wake up in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, screw you. I wake up at like 8 p.m.
Alone.
It's already night when I wake up. In the morning, I'm going to freaking bed.
The glasses are on.
There was a man who's accused of being a Grinch.
Go on.
Because he broke into the post office in Florida and he was trying to steal packages and smuggle them out of the post office and trying to ruin other people's Christmases or Kwanzas or Hanukkahs or holidays or Festivus or...
I wouldn't say Grinch, I would say stupid. Hey, I got an idea. Let me commit a federal crime.
Yeah, that actually is a felony. For those of you who do not know,
It's like robbing a bank. It makes absolutely no sense.
Well, technically it is a felony because
it's a
federal building, and like even like where I work, like there are people, and it blows my mind. Well, I work. Never mind. I don't want to go into that. But there are people who will steal from the post office. Yeah, and it's a felony. It is. It's crazy. So this guy was apparently intoxicated whenever he decided to make this decision, and he's
So it was an educated decision, is what you're getting.
Yes. And he's being held at the Palm Beach County Jail. That sounds like...
Sounds nice.
Sounds nice.
It sounds like a resort. It's a getaway, really.
Well, it's like I was talking about my job today, and someone said, "Oh, at least you're not in jail." And I said, "Yeah, they get 3 meals a day in cable TV."
Full nights of sleep.
Yeah, full nights of sleep. Damn, glad I'm not there. But yeah, the guy tried to steal Christmas from all of these kids. When you're giving, Joe. Yeah. He's taking away.
This is why we got to give.
This is why we got to give, because of allegedly guys like Francis Keller of Boynton Beach Police, of Boynton Beach. So, no, I don't know. Not a nice guy.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm reading parts of this here. Using scissors to open up packages. He was opening them while he was still there.
Yep. Crazy. And I don't even know how he got it. Maybe he smuggled in the scissors, because I don't know if they would even have those at the post office. Who knows? Tomorrow's Saturday. We have nothing going on but local music all day, so tune in for awesome music. Come tonight, either the James Street Gastropub and Speakeasy, or right down the street here from the Millville Studios at the Funhouse at Mr. Smalls. You can see Alter the Design at the Funhouse. They just joined the network, so a new network member and a network veteran in Chrome Moses at James Street Gastropub and Speakeasy for their CD release party this Sunday, the Acoustic Brunch at Hambone's, 11 a.m. right on Butler Street. I'll be there. Joe will be there. Tara, will you be there?
What day?
Sunday.
Yeah.
Tara will be there as well, so come check out everybody who's here today. It'll be a good time, good food. I'll be drinking, because you can't drink all day if you don't start early. Catch you Monday. Actually, I'll catch you Sunday. Come on out.